Hello and welcome to a very English craft room and another in the scrapbooking series. I shall be scrapbooking some photographs of my daughter and her cousin when they were doing some ballet. So for this I'm going to be using several photographs, an assortment of pre-bought and fussy cut out embellishments, as well as some from Poppy's Crafty Owls, the acrylics there that you can see in the top, the stars and one of the titles. So I had a sheet of 12 by 12 that had the word ballet on it that I purchased randomly off eBay a year or so ago, and also I wanted to use the acrylics there from Poppy's Crafty Owl that says Dream Big, along with another pack of acrylics from the same shop that were stars. So just rearranging all of the photographs and little embellishments. The photographs I'd printed off on my Canon selfie, so they are marginally smaller than the 6x4, and then there are two that are smaller there. I'm not 100% sure that actually in the end I use all of those photographs. I think I might miss out one of the smaller ones, but we'll see a bit later on. I also bought from eBay, again about the same time as I bought the paper, but from a different seller, this ribbon that I'm sticking down now that has got ballerinas all the way along it. I think they're ballerinas from Swan Lake, looking at the poses on them. I also bought various other ribbons from the same shop with music themes, and I will make sure that I use those in some layouts soon. In the photographs you can see there's a picture of my daughter, fairly young, with a tutu on and her bag puss. That was from a photo shoot she had done when she was probably about 9 or 10, maybe slightly younger. There's also a couple of photographs there of her with her cousin that were taken at the annual photo shoot at the dance school. They both went to the same dance school, so they had their photograph taken together, and it's both one of my favourite photographs and my sister's favourite photographs, so quite nice to use that in a scrapbook. The photo that is hidden underneath at the moment that you can't see is of my daughter older, in one of her last ballet solos that she did, which was in a ballet dress rather than a tutu. And there's a very small photograph there right on the left hand side that's my daughter in a tutu that I made her for a competition, and we were just messing about and having a bit of a photo shoot. Most of these photographs I've actually used in previous layouts and are stuck away in albums, but I wanted to pop them all together here with just a ballet theme rather than being one photo per page. There's nothing wrong with reusing photographs when you're doing scrapbooking. So I'm just inking the edge of the photographs here with a aged photo distressed ink, just to make them stand out a little bit more from the background. So this page uses 5 photographs of 2 different sizes, although actually it might only use 4 in the end, and like I say, I can't remember whether I used both of those little ones or not. Sometimes I only scrap with 1 picture, sometimes I scrap with 2, 3. I think one of the most I've done is 12 little photographs for a Christmas layout. I plan to do a couple of videos soon of how using different numbers of photographs and different sizes of photographs can impact the look of your scrapbook layout. So although this looks to be sort of a normal speed, this video is actually speeded up by 2 for the majority of it, just because you don't want to be sitting there for the whole length of time that I'm actually producing the layout. So using the T-square here just to make sure that I get the photographs nice and parallel to the edges. It's one of my most frequently used tools. I've recently had to order another one from Amazon as I was trying to remove some paint that I'd managed to get onto the ruler, some of the shimmer mist and things that I'd managed to get onto the ruler, and stupidly I decided the best way to get rid of the paint would be to use nail varnish remover. This has actually removed all of the numbers off of the ruler as well. My daughter did ballet from about the age of 3 up till finishing university at 21, so for quite a long time. and I must admit we spent lots of time at the dance studio over the years. So just using the rotary trimmer here just to trim down the edges on these little photographs. Originally I thought I wanted the white border on them, but I couldn't get it nice and level all the way around, so I actually trimmed it off completely. The ballet themed embellishments there on the left hand side are actually from a set that I purchased from the range, but I think they're available on the internet, on eBay, Amazon, and probably from places like Hobbycraft as well. So I also started ballet at a very young age. However, I was thrown out of the ballet class fairly early on because as a toddler I could not jump. So at that point they decided I wasn't going to do ballet. However, as an adult, I did take it up again for an adult ballet class, which was really good exercise but very hard work. Unfortunately, with things like COVID, all of these things have stopped. So who knows once COVID's over whether I shall go back to doing anything like that. Hopefully I'll get back to my ballroom and Latin dancing classes fairly soon too. Both of my children, my son and my daughter, have done ballet, tap, modern, song and dance, ballroom and Latin. I've also done most of those, but mainly as an adult rather than as a child, because like I say, I was thrown out of ballet class for not being able to jump. Here I'm just trying to see whether I can use some of these little wooden embellishments of a ballerina that I've got, and also some little sticky embellishments of a ballerina as well, although I don't think I end up using them. I also look to see whether I want to mount some of these photographs on some backing paper or not. So I found this little card that's got point shoes on it, and I've decided I'm going to fussy cut that out and pop it on the layout. Now I've already stuck down the words that say dream big, so I end up having to pull them up just so I can get this put underneath them, which did leave gluey marks. However, I managed to place them back exactly where they come up from, so actually you don't see any of the gluey marks. So to start with, I thought I would end up cutting round the circle on this piece of card. However, I think, although I can't remember, that I might actually crop in closer to the dance shoes on there in the end. It's not something I've done a lot of in the past, fussy cutting, but I am actually increasing the amount I do that, and it's actually much easier with these very tiny little scissors with quite a sharp little point that I got from one of the stalls when I went to the NEC craft fair back in the day when we could go to things where there was lots of people. So it's Easter Monday as I'm recording this voiceover, and outside it looks lovely, blue sky, fluffy clouds, and the sun's out. However, it's really cold out there. It says that it feels like it's -2 outside. It doesn't actually feel much warmer than that. I have been out there. Although it's nice in the sunshine, when the wind blows it's really chilly. So you can see that I'd pulled up the letters and was having a bit of a fiddle to see what I'm going to do. I actually do end up with that ballet shoe embellishment being quite low down in the end. And like I say, only using one of the two little photographs. So pulled some more of the acrylic up and still having a bit of a fiddle. Still having a think. And like I said, I'm just cropping in a little bit closer into those shoes, cutting out some of that circle, because it was just too big of an embellishment, looked too much of a big block there, and because the photographs are all very angular and some of the other embellishments and the words I've used are quite angular, it was just too rounded. So I'm back to work tomorrow, giving out more vaccinations for the COVID. We're actually on round 2 of the vaccinations here. The UK are doing really well. We're getting the vaccinations out to everybody, and I think it will make a difference to how we live our lives over the summer. Although at the moment we don't really know whether we're going to be able to travel abroad for holidays. Our Prime Minister is going to make an announcement which might tell us a bit more about that later on today. So now I've finished cutting out that embellishment, I'm going to try and find the right location for it and stick everything back down. Vaccinating for 4 days this week because of the bank holiday Monday, although we do actually generally only vaccinate 4 days a week on each site, just because that's how long the vaccine lasts for. Yesterday I met up with my 2 children and their partners, and my son and his partner's dog, and my husband, and we went for a walk around the park, as this is the latest thing that we're allowed to do, to meet in small groups, outdoors, not inside, and we had a birthday cake for my daughter's 30th birthday. The words there towards the top that say wish for it and work for it actually came from a cut apart that was on a card that said don't wish for it, work for it. But I cut it up to be separate individual words, and just to change it a little bit, so the ampersand was actually from a sticker set that I had of alphas. So you can just see here that I've actually backed that little photograph with some of the paper that matches the little ballet shoes that I cut out there, or the big ballet shoes that I cut out there, all came in a little set together, and it just makes it look a little bit better there, and it's slightly offset again just to give a different look to it. So I'm now just trying to find where I can pop this word ballet. I'm not sure whether I actually use it or not in the end. We'll find out soon. I really wanted to add another pop of that bright pink because the word work there had got really bright pink in it. However, I really didn't want to pop it up there where it was right near the bright pink. I wanted it elsewhere on the page. But it's like I say, I don't quite remember where I've put it up. There we go, on top of the word dream. So it is in another location. And you'll see later that I do try and find somewhere to stick some more pink. I really wanted to put some up in that top left corner or down in the bottom right corner. So just playing around with these acrylics from Poppy's Crafty Owl, the little stars there. In the pack there were some that were black and some that were silver, and I've actually used them across several different layouts. So now you can see I popped in some pink flowers and love hearts as well, just to give the pop of pink in the top there. This layout's now finished, and I'd like to thank you for joining me in a very English craft room, and ask that if you have enjoyed this video that you click on the like and subscribe buttons so that you'll be notified when I put another video up, which I will do soon. So thank you once again from a very English craft room.